Excuse me. Hey, how you guys doing? Alright, so we are going to be, let me just check the recording. What's up, Alpha Dog? Okay, everything's working. The stream is a little delayed though. Okay, so we are actually going to be working on my flying machine elevator. I need to find a better name for it because it's a really long name to write down. Yeah, it's super long. Okay, so the biggest trick for this is the note blocks and where they're going to be sitting. Let me change something real quick. I'm going to actually turn this off. I'm wondering if it's interfering with my background fog. I want to see this real quick. Hey, you guys look at the background here. It's been kind of bugging me. See here. Go to, is it here? So fog, I could go to fancy. Let's see what happens with it. I'm not really seeing fog at all, but it doesn't load it in a square, which kind of sucks. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Why did you remove me or block me on Discord? As you can tell, I didn't block you, or I wouldn't have been able to receive any messages from you. But I actually just removed a bunch of people from my Discord, mainly because nobody was participating in any of the stuff I was doing. But I'm not here to, justify my actions. If you don't talk to somebody for 2 weeks, or you join a server and then you come to go to join the server and you're not on it, it's kind of obvious why you wouldn't be on there. But whatever. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and I think I'm just going to leave the fog off. It's not really helping anything. Yeah. Weird, really weird. Okay, so I will go back to using my resource pack here because there we go. Alright, so yeah. So the biggest problem for this is going to be, where do I get the note block? Where do I get the note block to activate when it stops on a floor? But not every single time you pass by a floor is going to be the hardest question here, because this thing has too many inputs and not all of them are working the way we would want them to work necessarily. So right now we could only get power, when the door opens every single time that it comes. So even when you're passing by, like right now, I'm pretty sure it opens the. Let's see if it opens the door or not. Let's see. So it doesn't actually open the door, which is good. I remember I added that in, which does say we can get power only when it actually activates this. Yeah. Yeah. We can get power from it. We can get power from it when it activates basically this lamp. So where am I getting this power from? I think I'm getting it from a T flip-flop. So pretty sure that's where the power. It's been a long time since I looked at this, so it's going to take me a lot longer than if I would have been, So this is basically where we're getting our power from right here. This torch, actually. So I can't really bring it across here because all of this is being used. So I did close down the server just because I kind of got bored with Minecraft survival, and not a lot of people want to see that from me. So I thought it was kind of a waste of money to have a server. So I mean, I can, if I want to play with somebody, I can always play with my son if he was up to playing, which he's not really. So he's actually more into Minecraft. So what would be the best place to get our note block sound from? Like I said, it's been a really long time since I've actually done anything with this. So this is probably where we could get, this would probably be the best place to get the note blocks from, right here. It would look kind of funky, but you know, it's not. We're not fitting it in there. It's just going to be one of those things where it's nothing we can really do about it. Okay, so we're almost there with this, which is kind of cool, I guess, right? I mean, we're almost there. Oops, did not want to do that. Yeah, we're almost there with this here. See here. Alrighty. Grab some, I think glowstone, probably the best. So this is going to be powered, but not, we want it to get powered from this torch. So we could kind of do this. It might get powered from this as well, though. So maybe we need to bring this a little further away. Let me see here. I could basically do this. Ooh, that's not going to work, because this torch is powering it. Okay, so we do need these two repeaters. And then we could do this. I really like the fact that it's just poking out there, but I mean, there's really nothing you can do about it, honestly. Not really. Right now we're getting power opposite of what we want. So, but when the doors, well, we'll see. We'll just test it first, because yeah, the next Minecraft update for me did not look like, you know, I mean, it's interesting, but it's not like, you know, it's not like what it's not really like awesome, you know? So, where to put it? So, I could technically kind of get power and run it through and by here. I mean, there is this location here that we might be able to use, but the reason why we could use it is because the power's all coming from this area here, from this thing. So I could technically place it in here like this, I think. Something like that. So you'd have your comparator powering that, and then we don't really need that there. Oops, we do actually need that there. Man, I am just slicing it up today, huh? Okay. So this would get double powered, so we wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, I was gonna say I can see why almost all YouTubers do not talk to their subscribers in chat, and I could see why because it gives people an opportunity to, um, I would say, bring up, I'll say, completely ridiculous things, in chat, or even, you know, try to hold somebody accountable for something that's not actually even, anything that anybody normal would worry about. But it's how it is. It's not like I have a ton of people. I could see if you had 100,000 subscribers trying to talk to you, or even 5,000. How would you get in touch with all of them? So this is what we might end up going with. Now, something I could try too. I mean, I don't really like. I mean, you're just gonna have this one section sticking up. There's really no way. Like I said, we can get power off of this area here, but it would still be the same. We would end up having to come out. It'd be less than that one, but so if you had like a block here with redstone, it wouldn't travel through. So we would have to have a repeater here, and then a torch to invert it, and then this would have to go into, yeah, this would, I mean, it would be the same as what we have up there. What about if I did this, where we got the power from here. Yeah, that's going to sever that. I mean, I could go with a half slab, but then the power is going to travel up every time this red circuit's been hit, so... We could try... We could try that. I don't think that that's going to actually affect anything. Yeah. And then we could, from here, basically have our note blocks across this. I don't think a note block can be moved by slime. But I do want to check it. Oh yeah, it can be moved. That actually is a good thing to know, honestly, because we could do some stuff with that. Okay, I don't know why I have stairs in here. I do know why I have that in here. Don't need any more trapdoors. Alright. So I'm not going to be streaming for a really long time. I mean, we're basically going to add these in and I'm going to stop the stream. And I'll probably be doing a world download here soon. I don't know if I'm just going to put it in the description or edit my original video and say this, or should I just post a new video saying, world download now available. We're at 75 likes for this particular device, this elevator. So I think people would actually really enjoy having it. So, anyway. It's so complex that I've completely forgotten how it works. I would have to I'd have to get myself, I guess, reacquainted with this by building it a couple more times, but I'm just don't feel like doing that. So, I do think that we could possibly so you have redstone there. No, that's not going to work neither. This would give us the opportunity to make it relatively small. I think that this is probably the easiest, but let's check it out because we do need to see, because it's being powered right now on the on position. So I might need to invert it. If I have to invert it, that's going to be kind of difficult considering, because even if I was to run it off of here and run it into a block, we could still do it, you know, because yeah, it would make it one longer. But let's just see what it looks like right now. So the elevator is on the bottom floor, so we can call it up to us. So it should be this floor. So no charms when it opened. It's because it just shut off. So this would basically work opposite of what we want. Yeah, I can't have it there neither. So we could... The connection gets severed here. I can run a half slab here, which would make it work. Go ahead and put that on 3 ticks. There we go. All right. So we need to send this back up. Now I forgot about that. That ding ding noise would be pretty annoying. We might actually still need to get it off of these doors. Yeah. The whole purpose of that device it definitely works on that aspect, but it doesn't work on the coming by aspect, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we send this down, this thing's going to go ding, ding, ding like that, and it's because of the way that this is set up. So yeah, this might not, I mean, this is probably the most convenient place to have the note blocks, but it's not necessarily the best one. I haven't talked to Memer, Alpha Dog. I haven't talked to him. Memer said he wanted to play Minecraft 1.0, and he asked me if I wanted to play with him, and I said no, and then I never heard from him again. He jumped onto a stream a while ago and then said, asked me, you know, why I removed him, and it's because I'm not going to do public servers, you know, but that's basically everything there. Yeah, that's not going to work. That ding ding thing, that's not going to work. So this is not a valid, this isn't a location we want to get that from. So no reason for all that stuff. We do need to get it here. The way that this works is because of the delay, it doesn't actually translate, you know, and get you the note block sound. But the way it is right now, I'm curious if I could use... Yeah, because technically, you know, somebody, if they use this, they're going to probably build out this. So I want to keep it within where it can be covered. So if we do, yeah, I mean, it's possible to get our note block sounds from down lower from here, but yeah, I mean, you'd rather have it right next to the floor anyway. So I'm thinking how we had it is probably the best method. It really is. It's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, you know, I was gonna say, I myself originally thought, you know, hey, people would enjoy, you know, having being able to talk to somebody live, you know, um, being able to talk to somebody live. But you know, I actually just think it gives people an opportunity to take advantage of it. But anyway, so when the doors open, it's gonna do that. It's not the best looking, but I think it's worth having it. Um, almost every floor has it. You know, has the setup for it to open the doors. So it's probably the best place to get it from. In this location here, because there's no upper floor, I could technically. Is this door open? Yeah, I could technically run it by here if I used a immovable block. So to clarify myself, what I'm basically saying is that my channel has been an experiment since I started doing YouTube. You know, my goal was to share with people the stuff that I enjoy, and a lot of people liked it. But I'll say that when it came down to specific things, let's talk about updates. Every single time an update came, I would get so much crap from people. Um, yeah, I would get so much stuff going on from people that uh, yeah, it just almost made it not worth doing. Seriously, it just became a, you know, it's like I know that there's nothing wrong with the devices, but the people, excuse me, the people that were making them, you know, and it can be very hard when you got people constantly telling you that, you know, they've tried making something you made and it doesn't work, and you know that it's because they did it wrong. You know, they didn't follow the tutorial correctly. But at the time, I wish I would have found a way to do world downloads, but for console, which I was doing, it was very difficult to get a world download that worked correctly. Now you can do it easily. So, so you're not going to get anything. Um, only when the door opens will you get a bell or a chime, which I think's probably good. I don't really like the way that it is. I mean, we could technically, in some locations, like in this location, there's no way we could wrap this around. I could actually kind of do something strange where I use like a torch tower and, you know, have that torch tower power the note block. I don't think that these actually get powered by, um, from what I remember. Oh, they do. They do get powered. Okay. Because I was just thinking that if I was to take, for instance, a torch here, you know, take a torch, and I could get it. I get it from a different location. The thing is, you want it to be right next to. So the other thing that can be done could be where I basically get power from another location. I mean, honestly, this is already set up, so why do another torch? It would cost an immovable block, but I don't think that's going to matter. This is probably the other place we could go with. Get rid of that. And I could do this. And I would think something like that might be cool. Yeah, let's check it. I could do, because it would be one less out. I could also try do this, where basically have a block going in like this, and then we do that. That would actually work out a little better. I like this a lot better than... Yeah, nobody... excuse me. I would just go ahead and say that I did have some people donate directly to my channel, which really helped me out. But I was going to go ahead and say that the biggest problem that I have with that is that if you basically give money to YouTube, they take almost 50% of it. Yeah, they take 50%. If you support me on Patreon, it's I get 90%, so they only take like 10%. So if somebody donates $10, I get $9 of that, which is way more. And I'd rather people support me on Patreon. I get emails, so if somebody does do it, there's definitely going to be benefits to it. But let's get rid of this. I do think that this is probably the better way to go, honestly, just because, I mean, it makes it stick out one more, but it just looks a little better. It's not quite as noticeable. I think it's the way to go. You let me know what you guys think. I think I could make this even smaller here. Yeah, speaking of playing with subscribers, Memer never donated any money to my channel. Not that that matters, but I told him he could earn membership by doing stuff around the server, and I think he just really didn't want to do that, or maybe he just thought I wasn't going to give it to him. But I made it pretty clear that the only way you're going to have the server is by paying for it, and that's why I don't have the server now, because I can't actually afford to run the server by myself. I mean, the ultimate goal for anybody is to have a server running where people pay like $1 a month, and we have like the amazing server. But not a lot of people want to do any work on that. You can go to any server you want to and play free, but I don't see any where you can just play actual Minecraft. That's one of the biggest, hardest things. But yeah, I think that this is going to work a little better, honestly. Doesn't look too shabby as well, though. So we can go ahead and get our power from this. I don't know what this orange circuit's doing here. I must have been planning something, but decided not to. I'm gonna leave it on just for the hell of it. Yeah, I remember back in the day, I would get falsely accused of just the most ridiculous stuff. Everything from stealing designs from people to yeah, anyway, make a long story short, the part where I go and say, hey, streaming and showing people how I make these elevators is kind of, to tell people, this is how it's made. It's not a, it's a difficult thing to do. It's not as easy as it looks. I do enjoy it though. Okay, so we can now check this. So it's already headed down. So let's make it stop on every floor. So we'd want to hit all these and then take it down. I think it's okay. forgot to put one here, though. So we now got note blocks. Not really too difficult either. That's probably one of the better things about it. Definitely better. Alright. So I think what I would like to do is... I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, we don't want this to be out of control, so I'm going to go ahead and... Alright, so what I'm actually going to do here to get rid of the ground underneath this so I can get a nice copy of it. So what we need to do is we need to replace this. Yeah, we'll need to replace this with that way the redstone doesn't disappear. Okay. So now I'm just going to do replace Minecraft sandstone with air. So okay, looks like I missed an area here. So let me go ahead and oops. Oh, it's undo actually. Okay, where did I miss these from? I'm pretty sure it was here. I think. Yeah, I think that's correct. Let me go check over here. Yeah, it's two repeater. It's two repeaters on 4. Okay. So this needed to be there we go. Okay, so now it should work. So we just do // replace Minecraft sandstone. Minecraft sandstone with Minecraft error. And then this will give us a nice copy so I can put it on a world download. Okay, so we want to take that and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Should be perfect copy. And then yeah, this has already been QC'd or quality controlled, so we don't need any more of those blocks. Okay. And then we'll paste it up here and see what it looks like. There we go. Should be fine now. Yeah, I thought about adding a floor to it, but I think this is fine. It is quite the contraption, just going to go ahead and say. Okay. Alright, so we want to take this device and we want to add it to schematics. Schematics, and I'm going to do save, and we're going to go flying, and I'll put world or W. Actually, I'm just going to put a regular W. Actually, let's do it this way. We'll go flying download. That should be good. So now I have that. So we can go ahead and create a world now for this. Let's see. And we can replace that. Something I just realized I might have not copied. Let's check this out. Okay. Well, I definitely copied it, so that's good. The entire design. Okay. Alright. Save and quit, and then I'm gonna create a new world. And we'll do flying. And I'll put actually I think I'm gonna keep it all one word. I'll go flying machine, or I'll go flying and then just elevator. Elevator, and I'll put, I don't know if I can fit it in there. How about if I just do down? That fits. I think we might even be able to get another space in there. There we go. We want it to be in creative. Generate structures off. World default super flat. Customize preset. We can do a void world. And bonus chest off. Allow cheats on. And then create the new world. Alright, so first things first. One. We're just going to go ahead and delete this. I thought I turned bonus chest off. Okay. So, now we just need to figure out we want to get it down relatively low. How are we minus? Yeah, we can't actually build at that height. I think you have to actually be at 0 coordinates. Did they add in? It seems like they added in more to it. So we'll go here. What's up there, Feared Fortnite? Or is it Fear Fortnite? Fear 4 night? Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay. So we're gonna do / and pull our schematic of the completed version of the world download. And it was load, and it was flying. And then I think it was download, I think is what I did. Excuse me. Okay, so we are a little too low here. So we need to go up a little bit. So let's see how far we can build down. That's as low as we can go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks will go. And then we'll see what happens when we paste it. Should be okay. I mean, we could technically bring it down a little bit more. I mean, I guess I probably should bring it down. So how many blocks difference do we have here? So 2 blocks I'd want to go down. So 1, 2. And that should put it perfectly. / undo. I'm planning on changing my username to Meanacy. Man or mean. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna ever pronounce that. So my doctor actually did give me a prescription for glasses, so I'm gonna be getting glasses soon. So that'll be good. My eyesight's just gotten so bad. So this is gonna be the world download. Yeah, this will be the world download. Yeah, so this thing, just gonna let people know if you're just joining this. So we're at like 76 likes on the video itself, and that basically means that we're gonna be able to do a world download here soon. Now I'm gonna have to do some experimental stuff. Like for instance, I do know I can use like MediaFly, and I was gonna do a video saying, hey, since everybody liked the video as much as they did, because we're getting pretty close to it, because people like the video, that I'm going to release it as a world download, which will be my first world download. And then I might do another world download for my version 3 elevator. That's basically updated. The biggest issue with this is Bedrock Edition. If you try to transfer this to Bedrock Edition, it's not going to work because when you transfer redstone over using the tool that they have, it puts the repeaters all facing different directions. They don't all face the right direction. So these, you ain't gonna know which way and how much timings you need on these. So you're gonna lose all that, which would suck. you know. So as far as bedrock editions go, this wouldn't work anyway. Because it's a flying machine. But I do, them saying that they want to be on the same version on all platforms, we play better together thing. I'm pretty sure that they're not including Java in that, and they've been very vague about it, and it's been pretty ridiculous. Let me see here. So fear for Fortnite. I remember you were the one to inspire me to start doing Redstone. I built my first elevator based on one of yours. That's cool, man. Yeah. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. This is a different type of elevator. I'd say probably the one thing about it is I can't get it to stop on a floor and then you can change directions. I mean, I could do it, but it would just be that much more work. And I think what I have right now is a pretty simple, we have indicator lights indicating like when it says down, you can only go down, which is a good thing. And then through the windows here, you can actually see what floor is active. So if you activate floor number white, you can actually see that it says going down floor number white, and you can see it from here if you have the glass in it. Just kind of an easier way to let you know. And then I would say that I would like to take some of the time off. That one didn't sound right. Let's check that out. That sounds correct. So, how long it takes the door to activate is kind of, yeah, I mean, I kind of have to have that much on it, the 5 there. It has to be that way because otherwise it will make this chiming noise. So I could get rid of the delay there. And then this could simulate what's going to happen here. Actually, I could just put a button on here. So when it opens, yeah, I actually am thinking I don't like the fact that it takes so much delay to get up there to do this. Yeah, I had to put this here for a couple reasons, actually. One was so I didn't have to invert it here. Because I could technically invert this. But it was the only place I could get it to work. So, I mean, I could technically do an inversion here. And we could get our power off of it, but, why not just keep it the way that it was? It was working fine. Yeah, it was working fine. Yeah, I just don't like the delay we're getting in here. I actually want to attempt to try and lower this to a little bit lower. This is just to make it so the door doesn't open and close when it's going by. So, very complicated thing going on here. It is not the right size wool or right color wool. There we go. So this will be the world download world. So we just need to, I want to see if we can kind of take half of this off maybe and see what happens. See what happens. I'd like the door to open up a little bit faster. It does seem to do it. Now we just need to check it with a couple more floors here. So let me, where is that thing? There it is. So we'll try it on this floor. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll leave it with 2. I know that we had 5 in there. So now we'll go ahead and call it up. Oh, you know what I should do? I should probably adjust this map. So / game role. Game role. Do daylight circle false. / game role. Do weather false. And we'll set the time to kind of morning-ish. Oops. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Let's go ahead and do / see, time set. We'll just do day. It's a little bit higher, so that'll work. Okay, so let's see what happens when this comes to this floor. It's okay. It definitely is okay. A little bit faster. I did think about using another slime area here, but the problem with that would be if you did decide to cover this. Yeah, if you decide to cover it. Yeah. If you decide to cover it, you know, it's just going to basically break the device, so we don't want that. Okay, so let's go ahead and send it up for a reset. So whoever's watching this, if you're not aware of this elevator's features, is that if you want to actually go down, you have to let the elevator complete its cycle, and I think it's more realistic that way. And so once it's up, now you can call it back down to you. So you can hit, you know, you want to hit down. You want to call the elevator down to you. So it does seem like I seen it flashing, but it wasn't enough to turn this thing off, and that's why we have it there. So that's gonna be good, I guess. Yeah, it has to be there too. Okay, so there are some things though that are, you know, the timings are, you know, on this. So we do need to try that because these actually need to be retracted. The yellow circuit piston needs to retract at a specific time in order to activate some of these devices. So it might be, we might need to leave this at was it 5 is what we had. So the next thing to do would be to check to see what happens. We need to put it through its paces and check. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of these to 2. Well, that one actually had an extra in it. I don't know if you guys seen that. Good thing I double checked this, huh? Okay, so now we just want to send it up and see what happens when it passes by a floor. Because it may actually go bing, bing, bing like that. Well, let's just see. Yeah. Okay, what just happened there? I did hear it go off, so let's send it up. Yeah, this is not supposed to stop here because I didn't hit anything. Also, the floor was not indicating. Okay, so that floor has been activated. So let's see if it actually stops on that floor. I don't know why it would have been activated. I mean, it could be something I did, but let's just check it. Okay, so the light's on, but we're not getting... This has been updated. What the hell would have caused this to get updated? Very weird. That should not have updated. Yeah, there isn't any power. I guess, I guess just for the hell of it, this actually should be... It should be a slab. Say a slab. Yeah, they're all going to need to be slab. I actually think that they all are. I must have just forgot that one there. Let's double check it, make sure we got slabs there. This thing's so confusing. This one just has another repeater on it instead of a slab. Don't know what's going on there. What the hell? See here. Slab, it should be right next to the chest. So there should be a slab there. So I don't know why I actually have repeater here instead of there just being a slab. Doesn't appear to me that this is going to cause any problems here. Don't know why I would have done that. And then there's this extra block here. Yeah, I don't know why I would have put that there. Other than maybe I just was really in a hurry. Or it was to basically prevent these two things from connecting. Which does say that maybe... Yeah, I switched this out for a inverted torch, so... Let's check this out here. Yeah, it's the same here. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, I don't know why I put... Yeah, so many repeaters. Seems unnecessary. It's okay, though. I mean, it's not like we're actually saving a lot of material here. Okay. This should be good. Now, I could go with a decoration, honestly. I could go with some decorating with this. I also do think that... I think that I might actually want to do that just to keep it looking a little lower than what it is, because yeah, it has to be that tall. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so now we just need to check this thing to see if anything happens when we, is everything working. So let's go ahead and go up to white floor. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate blue floor. So this should make a stop on both floors on the way up. But we're getting a little bit of something there. It was basically kept popping on and off. I'm sure you guys seen that. I believe it's coming from the floor reset, which we don't actually have on here. You guys, look, we don't actually have the floor reset. Yeah, you don't actually need that. Yeah, I have the floor reset right there instead of on the outside. I'm curious if I shouldn't just have it there anyway, because this doesn't actually have the same device or the same separator. There, we're missing this contraption here, and I think that's why it actually does that. But what we want is we want this to basically guarantee that it's going to shut off and then transfer to down. So it's one of those things where I think we need to leave it that way. So let's see what happens if we just send it down to the bottom floor. You can see it, problem number 1. Okay, it did shut off. Okay. Okay. Let's call it up to us. Make sure it doesn't just automatically stop on any floors. Then we want to stop on floors on the way down. Now I definitely think we could, change this so it doesn't strobe. So it's not like, getting hit each time. But this was the best method to get this thing to activate and be able to be reactivated again and again. So we learned that through, 7 or 8 hours worth of stuff. Okay. So let's stop on blue and white. Check the indicator lights. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the lights up above. What we actually have there is we have it switching and indicating which directions we want it to go to. To let you know what direction, in case this is, somebody doesn't know how to use the elevator. It would be simple, but you have one button doing 20 things, and if you don't know, just the basic rules that this elevator has to go up and down. It cannot stop on a floor and then go back down if you're coming from the up position. It literally has to go all the way up to the top and all the way to the bottom. Now you can make stops on the way down, and you can even send it by, and I'm going to go ahead and test that now. So you call it to you, and the elevator should come to you. And then say you go, I don't want to go to that. I actually want to go down there. You would actually hit the up button, sending it upwards, and then you should see the indicator light come on, telling you that it needs to head in the down direction. As you guys see, it's showing it needs to go down. So then you hit down to you again. It should come and stop for you. There you go. What's up, player one? So what ended up happening there with your donations? I was just telling people on this stream that I've never had people donate money to me directly through YouTube, but just to let you know, they take 50%, if not more, out of all the money that you basically gave to YouTube. I only got $22 of it. So if you want to support me, player number one, again, not that you would, but if you ever did, please use the Patreon. It's in the description. It's so much, they only take 10%. So out of $10, I get $9. So, that's a lot. And they take it out for taxes. So I don't even have to pay for taxes. So that's a good thing. So But I have to make over like 23,000 on YouTube to actually report, taxes. You know, so anyway, just letting you know, player one. Yeah, you had no idea. Yeah, me neither. I've never had anybody do it. Otherwise, I would have said, "Hey, don't donate through YouTube," um, because how much they take. I mean, it's pretty insane. So we're just running this thing through its paces. So yeah, I guess the next thing to check is, can you call it from a floor down below the floor while it's on the floor? It should work. Yeah, everything should be fine. So all we did here, player one, was add in no blocks. So this thing's ready. It does look like I'm missing some stuff with this torch tower here. It's not hooked up to anything. I'm gonna need to save and go to the world I made this on and check out and see what is connected to it. Yeah, I really don't have anything connected to it. I wonder why. Maybe I don't need it. I mean, in that case, I could actually just get rid of this. But I think that it's actually used for something. Yeah, here we go. So this needs to be hooked onto there. Okay. All right. Makes sense to me. I don't know when I deleted that, but... So what have you been up to, player one? As far as stuff goes, so is everything cool with what you were talking to me about on Discord? Did all that work out for you? I'm hoping so, because... There we go. Let's double check it. Yeah, like having the wrong card and stuff like that. I don't want to really, put you on blast. Okay. So this should be good. So we know what we need to do now. We need to just connect this yellow circuit here. I'm pretty sure that the reason why that thing was actually clocking was because of it. The point of this is that you want to be able to reset it from any floor that it's on and have it come down to you. So I'm assuming that if I actually was to hit, let's see, when you hit the down button, it activates and does a chain reaction resetting every device on here. So it just helps. So to give you guys an example, when you hit down, like if you want to hit call it to me, you have to hit up. When it starts coming up, nothing changes. Yeah, as it comes up and stops, everything's fine. And then it switches to the down position saying go down. The process in that, so if you're from here, when you actually hit down, it's the same as if you hit up. So when you hit up activates an entirely different circuit. So, but you'd want to call down, but when you do it, you guys can see that yellow line gets active and it resets. Not only tells the elevator to come down, but it resets that button there. And you can see that it gets a couple extra pulses, to let you know that, which is cool, I think. So let's go ahead. So you'd be going up. So another thing we don't need on this world download, I did think that maybe people might want to, extend this up higher. So I did add a reset on here, but it's not hooked up to anything. So I think that the best thing to do for me, here would be to get rid of this extra reset because we don't need it. But I think if somebody actually wanted to hook it up, like here you can see I have it hooked up. We don't actually want that there. because we don't want it to activate anything, because the top floor is completely automatic, and so we don't want that hooked up to anything. So I'm just going to remove it just in case, you know, people decide, if they decide they want to try and extend this, they can. Because each time you extend this, it extends this button layout. So if you wanted to go with a couple more, you have to add on everything here and keep adding it every single time. So it's a very complicated thing to even say, but yeah. Anyway, so we definitely don't want this hooked up to where people could screw up the elevator and hit it and go, oh, why didn't that work? You know? So I'm just going to disconnect it. So in a world download, it's already here. So if somebody, you know, wants to try and figure it out, they can. But I would say don't bother, because if you want to extend this, I think I made it at the height that I would feel the most comfortable in. I will say that it is possible to make these floors just extend beyond the 10 block. Like you could actually have a floor here and then just basically make it skip until it gets all the way up to the top. Relatively easy. But we are almost there. Yeah, I'm actually digging this. I think it's pretty sweet. Yeah. Another idea that occurred to me was, why have the doors stay open? But every time I've tried it, because you can't place a button inside of the area, if you try and place a button inside of this area, it gets smashed by... So, I mean, you could technically put a hole in the wall and have a button there, like a button right here, as an emergency, but it would have to be inside, you know, that area. So I could technically have an up and down button inside of it, but when you pass by, it's going to be like holes cut out, and I just don't like that. So it's, you know, to be more automatic or automated, just better. But I do think that I would like to take a finished picture of this. There we go. So that is pretty much our video completed. I did want to show people. I need to find it first. Yeah, I will say this, player, when I really, really appreciate you, you know, supporting my channel with those donations, because it just, you know, like I said, I don't make nothing for doing this anymore. And I'll say that I don't even know why I've lost popularity, you know, because I feel like I've been doing the same videos for a long time. So I'm assuming it's probably because of either something I said to somebody, rumors, or maybe because what I do isn't very popular anymore. It used to be popular. So I need to go to... I almost forgot what I was going to show people. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to show people. Yeah, I was going to show you something. I was going to show people something, but I can't remember. I can't remember what the heck it was. Let me hit this instead here. I think it was something on my channel. I think it was oh, I know what it was. Okay. Only took me 20 minutes to realize it. So I'm headed back to when I first made this contraption, you know, live. And it's one of my most popular videos, as far as when I came back. So I thought this was probably the elevator I should pay the most attention to, and this would be the one I'd probably want to increase and make better. So I just need to go to the analytics for it so you guys can kind of see its popularity, where it's at. I don't know if I'm supposed to show how much money I could possibly get from it, but I don't think I want to show you that. Let me see here. Actually, I don't think it matters. You know, I don't think it matters because, yeah. Um, I can... I think I want to use the old version, and that one doesn't show the estimated. Anyway, I think I can just go here to the likes on the actual video itself. Let me do that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. I really hadn't decided on. Okay. So, um, so on my actual video that shows this same elevator without the note blocks, um, completed for the 14.4. Not only did I get a bunch of comments, I mean, it's actually the most comments I've gotten on any video I've made so far. The likes are at 73. It was at 78, and then all of a sudden, I think people just didn't like it anymore. I don't know why, but we were really close to it. We are at 2,037 views. And the likes, this is the most likes I've gotten on a video since, God, I can't remember. So I thought, hey, we're at 2,000 views right now. It's probably my most popular video that since I've come back, and I got it. I uploaded this on July 2nd. So I thought to myself, if this is what people, want to see stuff that's like this more, I'm gonna try. I'm actually gonna use the same techniques on this to create a new. I'm going to use it to create a newer elevator. And what we're going to do is we're going to use water. So, because it's really fast. It's pretty much the fastest that you can make it. So, using the same techniques as the flying machine, we can create things. Now, somebody already beat me to it a long time ago. And this is actually it. The thing that I don't like about it is that to keep it compact, he actually did some stuff that honestly is a little weird. And I'll show you guys this. So this isn't my design, and I'm not going to link the guy because it is slightly different. I actually did do some patches on it. But it actually uses signal strength to get this elevator to do what it needs to do. Now, I think personally I would rather it be something physical that doesn't depend upon a bug in the game. And what I mean by that is that this is basically the way that it works is depending on how much signal strength you send through this device, it determines how far these observers will actually send it. And I'll show you. So that's how this works. So right now, this elevator is on the down position. So if we were here, you can see that it's actually showing traveling up, right? Because I set it from this floor here, I think. Nope. Yeah. So, yeah. So for this floor right here, this is where I actually went down. You guys can see that you do travel down, but it's not exactly fast. And that's kind of sucks because I personally think that you're much better off just dropping. So I think this. I think I would kind of like to do a elevator. Now, I mean, this is something I'm actually going to write down because it's something that's going to take me a while So you probably won't see too many uploads from me, or maybe I'll do some live streams showing me working on it. But I want to make an elevator that basically you can stop on any floor on the way up, and then you can jump down to any floor on the way down. Now, one of the things I thought might actually work and be simple and easy is to use a cauldron. I'm pretty sure you can still die from a cauldron. That's probably the only problem. But if we could get it to work, I mean, I'm going to test it right now because I might just end up doing something similar to what this guy's done. I just think that falling is much faster. So if you want to make an elevator, you're just better off falling. Because it's faster than actually having. Like, there's no reason to have the magma blocks in this elevator. No reason at all. Okay, so we need water. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that you would hit the sides here. It's very difficult. That we would have to have something that actually centered you so that you would actually... Yeah, I still hit. As you guys can see, I still hit... Actually, I'm in the water. So if you could fall every time... I don't know if that you would take damage from that. So I'm actually thinking... let's do /game mode. Okay, so that does not help at all. Yeah, that doesn't help at all. So we definitely can't use that. That would be a nice feature for them to add into this game, honestly. Because I thought to myself, it would be nice if I could just have a piston push this out, this cauldron, and then you land in the water safely. But that's not actually what's going to happen if you do it. So the next best thing would be to create a puddle or water source. So to show you guys how this works, it's already been set to do its thing. So we're going to go ahead and just basically reset it. I'm going to basically... The way that this works is with signal strength. So you don't want to hit, the floor 1, but if you actually hit the furthest floor, the signal strength will send a signal through the observers to its highest point, and then it should convert the signal so that you can go up to the highest point. And so once you've reset the elevator, so you have to reset it, and then now we can kind of decrease it. So this elevator is so compact, I'm really surprised he didn't put indicator lights onto it. But we just hit the second one, and let's see where it takes us. So this should take us to a lower point, but I'm pretty sure it just takes us to the top floor. So these are some of the things I didn't like about this design, is that the buttons are confusing. So if we hit this, right? So there is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors, and we have 8 buttons. So I just hit this one. You guys seen? I just hit that button. Let's see where it takes us. To the top again, right? So now it should actually start to do its thing, and I'll show you guys that. So this is floor 6. So nothing should change on it. It should still go up there. So if we do, say, floor 4, actually that was floor 5, you guys can see that it actually skips the top floor. And so if we, I'll show you what I mean. So if we go in here, it does not stop on this floor. So I'll show you that again. So it's one of the things I didn't like about this design, is that I'm sure when the guy made it, it was proper, but this is his actual world download, and I took it, made a few modifications to try and fix this, but I could not get it to work like that. In his original design, it does actually work, but So if we wanted to go to floor, so if this is floor 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Floor 5 should take us to that floor, not that floor. So let's try floor 5 again. And we should see that light stay on, and it doesn't. So, like I said, it's one of the problems when you go too compact, you sacrifice a lot of function. And that's basically what's going on with this. I added these lights to see how the signal strength's actually working, because when you go below that floor, I would say that this would work as long as you got rid of the top floor. So if you could never stop at this top floor, it would be fine. Yeah, it would be fine, because it does actually stop from floor 4. It actually does work as a 4-floor elevator, and you guys can see here that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about the same as my smallest elevator as far as in height there. And there's a lot less to it. Now, here's the biggest problem. Unless you're planning on jumping to a floor, which I could tell you right now that a simple and easy way to make it is to have different water tunnels. Say you have one here, one. Each one of these would get you to your floor. So when you basically go and drop down to it, you'd fall and then stop on the floor you want to stop on. Can it be was it mediated? Moderated? I don't know what you're talking about. I just noticed that you just commented. Can I be moderator? Moderator of what? Okay. So, yeah. So on the way down though, if you're on the top floor and you pick you guys see that it actually does work. So we could travel to the down floor, but like I said before, there's no reason, to try and do this because it's faster to fall. So, I mean, as far as a water elevator, it's definitely a good one, but it's not at the best. So floor 2. You see that floor 2 is working. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you guys is because this thing uses signal strength per floor, if we were to go back down here and we hit, say we want to go to floor 6, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see that it activates nothing. It should actually turn on that floor up there, but I do have it disconnected anyway, it doesn't matter. So if you're from this floor, it wouldn't matter. You could just go to floor 6. But when you are on one floor, and then say we want to stop at, say we want to go to the floor above us, which is the 3rd floor, right? So we'd want to hit this button. You guys can see that it actually functions, right? It's actually working. I'm just going to go ahead and just point out to you that the flaws in this is that you have to guess at what buttons to hit, and unless you can see the indicator lights, you can't always guarantee that you're going to go to the correct floor. So, yeah, but it's definitely a good concept. But I think using the same technique that I used here, we could create basically a faster version of it, because honestly, in survival, this is a very survival friendly version, or is it? As you guys can see, it's got a lot of stuff moving around, and because it uses that signal strength, it's very hard to use. Of chat. No. Nope. I'm not actually doing moderators. If somebody trolls me, I usually just don't respond to them anymore. So anyway. So going back to this, my concept for this is going to be It's basically going to be where it just stops you on the way up on whatever floor you want to do, which would be a lot smaller, and then you just jump down to the floor you want to go to, which I think is I mean, in survival, to me that seems like I think that would be better, but it is possible to have the same thing. Um, anyway, if you guys know how to use kelp, it will be really easy. So I'm not going to start it today, but over the next couple weeks, I just wanted to kind of mention it to people. Because what we're actually going to be doing, we will be doing that. Like I said, we'll make one that stops on the way up. And we can use like really minimal circuits. It doesn't have to be that much. You know, it really doesn't have to be that much. It literally is just a piston that goes above your head. And all you have to do is use staircases here, which give you water sources to do this. And you won't need any of this stuff. And then, like I said, depending on how tall your floor is, you know, we'll have buttons here that say, you know, what floor you want to stop on the way up or down. And it'll basically turn one off and activate another. So if you're on floor 2 and you want to go to floor 4, you just hit floor 4. There's no confusion on how to do that. So, yeah. This one does work, like I said. I'm just going to say, though, that I've had some stuff that didn't work with it. Depending on where you are in the elevator, it sometimes will not actually activate the floors that you want to. As you can see, it activates it each time. Floor 4. And let's try floor 5. So as you guys can see, this is where it's kind of confusing, because if you were to hit the floor you were on, you can't actually travel down. So let's try floor number 4 again. Okay. So floor number 5. Yeah. You can see that floor number 5 at this height, this floor does not work. So I'll say it's a serious flaw with this design, is that you can only make it 4 tall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 if you're lucky. But you can see that I actually can't stop. Yeah, I can't actually stop on that floor. So my idea is to let's actually take we'll use glass for this, because there's no reason not to. So my idea is to now, I'm not sure I'm going to use glass, but my idea is to make something that it can just be infinitely tall, and I don't really think if it's a water elevator that is necessary, or you would even want to use water to travel down. It's much easier just to jump down to the floor that you want to go to. So this makes a water elevator that stops on multiple floors super simple and easy, and it doesn't need to be too wide. But we'll test that. We're going to test that here in the next couple of weeks. I just kind of wanted to show people. Yeah, during the month of October, we'll be messing around with this to get this to work. But I just want to kind of lay out the concept so I don't forget. Something I can just jump back on here. You guys noticing that? Like, why is that? Why? How come I can see that? Oh, I accidentally put a... Okay, makes sense. So, this is what I normally do, is I just normally put a sign. And then we need some sort of, it could be dirt. Actually, let's try just grass block for right now. So we put some grass in there. Go ahead and throw that away. And we can basically, I mean, if you guys don't know about this, you can dump 1 bucket of water at the top. Sure, a lot of people know about this. But you dump water at the top, and then you take kelp, and obviously you'd want to collect a bunch, but each time you set it in here, it makes a solid water source block. So if you just do this, instead of, you don't have to dump a bunch of buckets. And once you've gotten it all the way to the top, you now have all of these are full source blocks of water. So now if I throw in soul sand at the bottom, I'm sure you probably already know this. Seriously, I'm sure everybody already knows this, but so now if I stick soul sand, oops, what the heck? There we go. Now if I put soul sand, it's going to turn that entire thing into super fast. So all I really need to do for this is to have soul sand and a staircase. Let's go ahead and just use what I used here. So if we wanted to stop anywhere we wanted to, and that's really the thing, is we kind of want, if you got one of these, you want to be able to stop wherever you want to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This would probably be the shortest distance, but let's do this at the yeah, actually let's just do it here. It'll be fine. So we would need to, I'm going to go ahead and use, I think I'm going to use some white concrete on this. So since this is going to be our floor here, what we actually need to do is, if you check out this design here, we need to take these stairs and put them all around it in the front here. So I'd want to replace, we're going to want to do this, and this is going to make a mess, but there's no redstone. So you place some stairs in there. I prefer them myself to be something like this. Obviously you'd want to do this beforehand, but we're just figuring out the method, so it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to want our source blocks of water here. And what this allows us to do is we can basically put and block the source off here with whatever we want to. So let's go ahead and just repair this up real quick. So, okay, and then we'll place some blocks here. And so what this gives us the ability to do here is to put either soul sand here, which I don't think you need. You don't need it. All you need is a block here to stop you, to hit you in the head, basically. So you stop. So if we want to get out here, we would need this right here. So just to show you guys what I'm talking about, if you're curious. If I place a block now in here, it cuts the signal of this off. What's up, Hazy? I've been good. So if you cut this off here, you can see that it turns the bubbles off. But once I get rid of it, because of the water sources from these other locations, it refills this, and so we can now make a break, so causing it to make it so we can stop, which is a really good concept, because if this is where we want to get out on our floor, Um, we could do something as simple as this, or even doors. It doesn't really matter. I would say that, yeah. So something like this would be fine, and it looks relatively good. The thing is, we want it to actually stop us. So if I wanted the floor to be here, I actually would not want these to be here. We would actually want these in a different location, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Yeah. So yeah, if we wanted to stop here, if we wanted this to be our floor, say we wanted this, you could do any spacing you want to. That's going to be the good thing about this. So then we'd want to do the same thing we did over there, where we basically just have something in front of this that you can get by. So say this, let's just do this, okay? So now we would need, I would say we could go with trapdoor. Let's see here, what can we get rid of here? There's a lot of stuff we don't need. I'm gonna say that these are some of them. Don't need those. So I don't know if we should go with, I mean, because we could go with something like this. Right? Something like that. And you'd have to crouch to get into it, so that wouldn't be good. I could put a door. Put a door there. I could put these sideways. Like so. I don't think that, yeah, I think there's not really a good way to... This would probably be the best looking way, but if you really look at it, you can tell that it's not centered, which bugs the out of me, you know? So what I'm thinking that a door might be better looking. We could also use pistons, which is another concept we could go with. We could actually do pistons in here. We could even use the same technique that I had on the simple elevator, which should be over here. It's right there. We could use the same technique. It's going to let water flow out of it is the problem. So we'd probably have to use something. Yeah. I don't think pistons is the correct method, honestly. I don't think pistons is the way to go. I'm thinking... Yeah. So if you were to come up from here and you want to stop on this floor here, we could put signs in here. I think that's probably the easier way to do it. Let's actually do that. So I'm going to use the red signs. I think it's fine. I mean, because even if you could still get off on this floor even if you hit the wrong button, which would probably be a good thing. So the next thing to do would be to figure out where we want our stairs to be, because they do need to be there. So let's go ahead and just block this area off here. Doesn't have to be made out of glass, but I kind of want to see what's going on in there. So we would want a piston to stop us right here. Yeah. We want a piston to stop so that when we can get out on this floor, right? We want a piston there. So it can be made out of glass. Yeah. So everything's cool at this point until this piston activates. Once it activates, it will get rid of the source block. So to help us with that, we need to put stairs in here and then make them source blocks. And so what this is actually going to do for us is make it so we can stop on this floor now, which is super easy, and it's going to be way more resource friendly than this thing, because it's just literally, I mean, you can jump down to whatever floor you want to and just make a separate tunnel. It's not that hard to do. So yeah, if this is our main elevator, so we can actually now get rid of these here. Get rid of these. Yeah, if you do remove this source block though, it will mess everything up. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to replace the front to make it look good. Yeah, so I like the fact that this isn't allowing any water out. So it actually will look cool. I'm curious, do we need this third one? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to do a series of tests and see how many source blocks do we need to recreate this. So I just need a lever, and we're going to go ahead and grab some concrete and do this. So as you can see, the bubbles stop. Then when we remove it, the source blocks refill it and the bubbles continue. which means we can take off and travel upward. So now do we need this here? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing and see if it will replenish itself, or do we need the third staircase in order to get this to work? No, we're actually good. So this pretty much means we can have a flawless looking elevator. And so just to give you guys an example, I'm going to go ahead and start the first circuit, and I think I want to use purple for our first circuit. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I wish this was a little higher up, but we'll use the we'll use world edit and get rid of this. So excuse me. So the object here would be that you could make this at any size you want to. It might require a little bit of finesse, but it should work. But the concept here, that does say it will work. And like I said, as far as coming down, it's just literally you just make floor number 1 pit, floor number 2 pit, and you just jump down, land in some water. It's much easier than having the magma cubes. I did do a test, and if you did make this from the top of the world up and you wanted to come down, you would actually drown before you ever got there, unless you had a conduit. So as far as using this in survival, it's only good for going up. If you go too high and try to go down, no, I'm not dumping on the guy, because I definitely think this is a really amazing concept. I really do. I like the way that he did it. It's just when you use signal strength, this is a kind of a bug in the game, and it's going to be taken out or fixed or broken at some point. When I first tested this on the 1.3, I couldn't get it to stop on the correct floors, and then the 1.14 came out. I actually mean the 1.14.3, but when the 1.14.4 came out, it started working again. So I don't know what bug. You know, like I said, when you send a signal strength, what he's doing here, if you guys just want to know, is he's basically taking, and based on how many items are in this chest, it sends a signal through here that is basically relayed through this torch, and what that ends up doing is it sends that signal up this and stops like 5 blocks up if that's how much your signal strength was, which is a great concept. It's kind of like using wireless redstone, but biggest issue with it is, like I said, something that can break very easily, and I would say that this is a lot of resource. And so just taking a look at some of my elevators, like this is not made for you to build on survival. It's just made to check out and to be fun. Same with all the other ones over there. Yeah, they're very fun elevators, and they all perform differently, and they have their strengths and weaknesses, which is pretty cool. So, I don't think that we're going to need... I don't think we need these, so that's cool. Yeah, we just need the side ones. So, I mean, it's definitely cool that you can go ahead and stop it and start it again. Now, I do think that we could switch this for soul sand. And this would actually, this is going to help us out with some other stuff. So soul sand. So if I swap this out for soul sand, what we're going to end up with is when it's closed, somebody can still use the elevator from that floor. And this shouldn't affect it because you're going to basically hit a button. You're going to hit a button retracting this floor. So say it was like this. It's going to retract the floor, and then you're going to get in. It's going to stay reset so you can travel up to your next floor. So it should be relatively nice and easy. I think people will enjoy it because people, like I said, I personally think it's really easy to build water elevators. It's very resource friendly. It only costs you 1 bucket of water and a lot of kelp, which, you know, that's fine with me. So now it's just a matter of adding in redstone and then figuring out what floor spacings I want to do. I actually thought about going with super teeny floor spacings, but let's just go with 5 blocks in between. So it's every 6 blocks we're going to have a floor, just for now. It's basically the same as what he's got. So I need to move this. That's what I actually need to do. So we are going to... We're going to do this first. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to copy and delete the lower floor. So now I just need to, because we do kind of want to be able to make this infinite, right? I mean, we want it, it's super quick. It's faster than a piston elevator. So I think, yeah. So this is where we'd want to copy. So there. All right. So first thing we need to do is take this area. I'm going to go ahead and do /replace. Replace Minecraft sandstone with air. Minecraft air. Could just hit 0 as well, but this is going to make it so we can now copy this. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. So, and I can just basically extend this up 1 block. So I kind of didn't like the fact that I did that, but it'll be okay. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will be the 5th block. I'm going to do /copy. And then we're going to go ahead and just go 1 block up. I'm going to go ahead and do /undo. And then we're going to do // Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it up a little bit higher. So that way there's some room to work on it underneath. So like right here. And then we'll just do... And that should give us what we're looking for. And then I'm going to want to basically get rid of this area here. And I will just do this. Actually, let's grab... I don't really want to use white. Honestly, we've been using a lot of that. Hmm. Using a lot of glass as well for the floors. I think that glass is actually the coolest. But since this is water, I kind of think like Aquaman. So I'm thinking like maybe like a blue stained glass. Where the heck is glass at? Is it here? Yeah, actually it's here, I think. Right? Yeah. So I can go with a lighter blue or a darker blue. I think this actually will be cool. So we want to have this like so. But we do have the basic design of what we want to do for our next elevator here. Obviously, it's nice to just have a little bit of room. And I do think that it is small enough. Like, I'd like to have doors on it, but I would say the only thing we could use for doors would be, I mean, I think I'll probably leave it to you guys. I'll go ahead and show you guys some concepts. So this is concept 1 here, right? Concept 1. Let me go ahead and just replace some of this stuff. So good thing we don't have any redstone, huh? Alright, so concept number concept number 1. I like the way that this looks. So the next concept that we'd probably want to mess with would be button layout. So concept number 1 is this. So concept number 2, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure though, but let's check out fence. This is another way we could go that it just, I think it just looks better. You can walk through it, it doesn't interfere, but it could be closed using redstone. But one of the other things would be that we could use pistons to maneuver it. So this is actually concept number. So what I'm saying is you could push these with pistons. I don't know where I got that bone meal. Did you guys just see that? I gotta see something here. Huh. I thought I was on my live stream. I am making, that's weird. It didn't show you. There it is. It says, what are you doing? I am actually going to be making a water elevator that you can travel in survival and stop on whatever floor you want to at any height. This is basically too complicated, to install in a survival world. So I don't think that it's something I'd want to use. So I'm thinking that to be easier, we can kind of have the same setups, but what I was looking at was what's better, having signs here. Don't really like the signs, and if we do this, we can kind of get rid of this area. But what I was doing was showing that we could use pistons regular pistons. I mean, this would make it a little bit more complicated, but we could use pistons up to 2 to make this just hide. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you what I mean here. Yeah, the whole play together thing with Minecraft really disappoints me that it doesn't include Java. Okay, so we would want so this would push it over and there would be no door there. It'd be seamless. So when you were standing here in the elevator, you wouldn't see any of this stuff. And then when you actually, from down there, say you hit the magenta floor, let's just say we have it like this. So we're going 4 floors. Now you can make them at any height, obviously. So it should be easy. And what you do is, because this is only going to work on the way up, is you basically go, you hit the button. So say we want to go to floor 2, we'd hit floor 2, and what would happen was it would activate this device. Let me go ahead and add in a little thing here to have it on the off position. So this would only need to be a button activated thing. So it would only do it once. So you would literally just push a button and it would push it over, and then when you want to go and say, so I hit this button, and what would happen is this would end up going over, and then when you travel up, this soul sand here would actually close off, and then you could travel up and get out, and everything's cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and say, to keep this relatively simple, I'm going to keep this concept here on the back burner. I do like it. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to go ahead and leave this as is, as a proof of concept, as for what I would like. If any of you guys have any ideas, if you guys think that these buttons should be, like, I could technically make these buttons like this. There's going to be plenty of room. I could even probably have a button there as well. But I think that having it here would be better. So you'd be like, oh, I want to go to floor 2, hit floor 2, and it's going to activate floor 2. I don't know which one looks better to me. I actually don't know, because you can go either way with this. Yeah, I think signs are fine, but I like the fence gate, because you can just leave it open, and it just keeps the water out, and that's all we're really looking for. You know, we're not. You know, I could also use carpet here, I think. Actually, I'm not 100% sure, but anyway. So this is kind of the design we're looking at here. So let me go ahead and put some of this away. I'm gonna go ahead and do. And we're going to go ahead and just copy this. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this. So I want to leave this here, but because I might come back to it and go, you know what, I would like to have these doors on there, but I'm actually thinking I don't care. I don't think it's worth putting all those pistons in, and it does make it. It goes from being survival friendly. So I think I should make the survival friendly version first, and then maybe as a challenge make a door version. Because I mean, we could just use an actual iron door. The problem with that is that you could get killed in survival, so you'd want to use wood, and that's just simple. So we could use a door and have it open. I do know though that it is kind of difficult to get by a door sometimes. These are the fences are actually much easier, and I think they look a little better, but that's just me. Okay, so we've now copied it, and now we're gonna go ahead and just move it over. Okay, yeah, because we don't need all these buttons. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of all this. And so one of the ways I think that this would be good is that we actually could now use trapdoors, or I think we could use trapdoors. Let me go. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this stuff. Actually, you know what? I don't want to delete this. I got too much stuff in my inventory is what I have. We're going to need droppers. I don't think I want to use indicator lights because it's just that much more stuff, but we could use them. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'll leave them. We'll just get rid of some of this stuff here. Yeah. Okay. So with this one, we could grab trap. Was it trap? We could grab trap doors and then it wouldn't matter. You just basically have like this would be what the elevator would look like on each floor, which is relatively simple. You know, and if you wanted to go even further, you could probably, you know, put more in. But I think I like this. I'm not too sure. Could also just put blocks, but so concept is, I do think that I like that look better than I do this one. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves our. And you just leave them open. There's no reason to not have them open. Because if you're wanting to go from point A to point B or point C, you would just need to hit the button. So let me go ahead and grab. I'm gonna grab white. Cool thing about this is you don't have to hit any buttons, or you wouldn't have to hit any buttons. So now it's just about where's the best place for it. Do we want our buttons here? Do we want our buttons here? Or do we want our buttons, you know, here? I think as far as being compact, this is better. And will give us more room. I like that a little better. So what we would do here is you would basically go, oh, I want to stop at this floor up here. You would hit floor 2, and then this would basically extend forward, which it already is. And you would jump in, and it would take you there, like so. This would be the concept. All the designs I've made have always been, I'd say, super complicated because of some of the techniques that are involved. But yeah, so this kind of idea though definitely works. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that we probably do want to keep with the theme of things, and we would probably want to have our stairs there and make it look the same, you know, even though it's not really being used. Well, that was cool. I didn't actually know you could do that. Did you guys see that? I was standing there. And that was weird. And it opened the opposite direction, which is a trip. But I'm pretty sure that's pretty normal. So, but I actually was not aware of that. So if you literally, if you just wanted to, you know, that's cool. I didn't realize that. I thought these is what you had to use to. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine with me. So yeah, the circuitry involved is going to be super simple. Yeah. The thing I think I would like to use is a timer. Yeah. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about a timer where if you, so say you hit floor 2 and you're going up to floor 2, it activates, you get out, and then a couple seconds later, maybe even 5 seconds, then it basically automatically shuts off. Because the way down is literally just going to be a tunnel with water in it. So, give you an example. It's just going to have water in it. Like so. And then you just basically would jump down. So floor 1 would have its own special tunnel. And then floor 2, floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4. And you just jump down to those floors and you could have a sign on them. It would be easy. And it would still be within, I mean, acceptable size if you ask me. And of course, if you didn't really care, you could actually put water sources. I'm actually thinking this might be a better way to go. And what you would do is basically have another tube, but you only have water sources. So say we had this floor, and we wanted to jump down to it. What I could do is I could basically use signs. And so the sign would be, say right, probably here. Probably there. You have signs. And then this is just me trying. Actually, I think this is incorrect. We'd want a sign here. And a sign there. And then you would need another sign preventing it from going on the outside. Let's see, what could we do about that? Oh, we could do the same thing. Have trap doors there. That could actually get rid of so we just leave them open, so like so, right? And then when you jump from whatever height, there'll be a barrier of water. So you could use colored glass, or like if you have the glass here when you're falling down, you can actually see what floor you're coming up to. Like I can see that this is floor 2. So you could either write it, you know, in a different color. But let's go ahead and just. So we have some water here, and then we're going to go ahead and put some water here. Oops. And one up above. And so let me just cut that off. So I'm thinking this might be a faster way, and it's impossible to drown. So you would basically be, you just basically walk into whatever floor and then you would drop down, and then, yeah, you'd have to hold jump, I think. I'm not too sure. Yeah, if you hold jump, yeah, I would say that there's probably one issue with this. We could definitely add in a down circuit if we really wanted to. Yeah, the down circuit. So if you just have like 2 things of water, or even, yeah, even if you put the water in 2 blocks here, which I'm going to go ahead and do. So what I could actually do is, well, actually that would not work. I would have to have, it'd have to be 1 thing of water. Yeah, this is another technique I was thinking about, which is, I did it a while ago. It does not require, yeah, if you put a source block, I did this in my house world. If you put a source block here, the water doesn't spray out, and it just connects as long as you don't have anything intruding on it, which would mean that we could just cut this off real quickly. Let me do this. So basically, the concept would be, the way the concept would be that we would always have water in this thing, in the down. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So the water would go by any floor, and so what you could do is, if you had a, if there was a floor here, let's just say, instead of using a bunch of circuitry, you could actually just kind of, you know, take your time, and then jump out on whatever floor you want to. It is possible too to hit a button and then ride water down, which is, I think, a little faster. So basically it would be like if you stepped into this, and then the block pops out, and then you would be like this, basically. You know, you'd be riding it. It might be something to consider. I'm not too worried about the down, honestly, because we could actually, like I said, whether we use it to just jump down to the ground, or like I'm actually thinking with the water the way that it is here, you don't actually need, yeah, you don't actually need anything here. What's up, Hazy? It's it let me join, and then it says disconnected. I don't have that server anymore, Hazy. So that's probably why I'm no longer using the server anymore. It's been canceled. Yeah, I'm not on a server. I'm just on my regular, you know, single player. So yeah, I did this in my house, where I got rid of like I said, I mean, it could be something as simple of having a piston, or even a dispenser. Basically do this, but opposite. Yeah, so if you're on a server, it's probably somebody else's server. That's why. So yeah, something like this where basically you would hit a button and then just write it down and just get off on whatever floor. I think that would actually be easier, but what if you fell to your death? So there's a couple ways we could do this, but I'm not worried about it right now. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that as a just proof of concept kind of thing. Yeah, we'll just do this. Just do that for now. Because a lot of things that could be done with this as well would be to everywhere there's a floor, have a little section of water, and then have it blocked off with a sign. That way you could actually land in it and then slow yourself down. It'd still be faster than if we were to use the like a T flip-flop on the bottom of it, switching it to a magma. And I mean, we want this to be relatively resource friendly, so yeah. Okay, I don't think this is going to be where we want a floor. Anyway, I do want to end this live stream. I probably will stream a little bit more on this. Like I said, I do think this is something that's super simple, because it would literally be where all I'd have to do. I probably should use a different color. Let's use this color. So say, for instance, now that's one thing that does suck, is that this would have to be inverted the whole way, or we could invert it down here so that we don't have to worry about it. I would think that that's probably the better way to do it, would be to invert this thing here. So you'd have your repeater here, and then we can either do, you'd want it to be like this. You should only need it in one place. That should be it. They should match up on every floor from there on out. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That would be our next floor. Should probably cut this off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That would be our next floor. Something like that. Now, Floor number 1 would never be hooked up, honestly, because you're on floor 1. So this button would actually just be a dead button. But to get the concept where we can just remove it, because I'm not too sure I like this, honestly, because it does work, but I think we could do something a little bit better looking down here. I think we could actually do a like redstone here, like that, and we could alternate it, and then I could have no, that wouldn't work. Let's see, what if we did something like this? That would make it match up as long as you made the floor the same, and then anywhere that you needed to, you could just put it somewhere else. So, I don't know. um, I actually think it might be better right there, because it would make it smaller. So, basically this would be the better choice. And so wherever you hit it, it should send the signal up. So this kind of concept would work. The coolest thing about this is we don't actually need a return line, so this would be simple wiring. I could definitely do a tutorial on it. So anyway, so I'll leave that there just for so we know. But we would hit that line, and that line would basically go to a T flip-flop. For right now, we're just going to basically put the T flip-flop like right here. Let me get rid of some of this garbage I have. I don't need all this stuff. It's not going to be a heavy on circuitry, so but I would like it to be used by multiple multiple. You know what? I better keep these blocks. I could just put it in a chest. Excuse me. Yeah, that'll work for now. So T flip-flop. So basically, this is pretty much how it would work. Relatively simple. So if I wanted to stop on floor 1, I hit this button. It will extend that soul sand. And then if you are here, you'd also want to hit it. So what we would actually want to have happen is any button that follows it, we'd want it to actually reset the device so blue floor would only go to blue floor. Purple floor would only go to purple floor. But if you were to hit any of these buttons, so say I wanted to go up to the top floor, you would want this to reset it for you. So we would have to do this. So say I was like, okay, I want to go to floor 5, it would retract it, and then you're going to go up to the top floor, right? So just having an automatic reset on it. It's probably the better way to go. We could also do, because these are going to be just torch towers. Just going to be torch towers full of stuff. Each one, but it's only a torch tower for each floor. So this is really going to be a simple circuit. Honestly, it's not very complicated at all. We could actually make this a little smaller too. We don't really even need the sandstone here. We don't really even need it, which is cool. We won't sandstone, sorry, soul sand. We won't need soul sand on it. But that would be the basic design for each floor. Another thing that we could do too, if we really wanted to make it so that it never accidentally activates the floor, would be to make it so it only does resets. So if you want this to only reset, you just have redstone on top here, and then when it gets activated by whatever, it will turn it off. But the default is to stop you, so as you can see, it can't actually activate it from there. So yeah, because this floor wouldn't even need to be here because you're on floor 2, so you'd only need floor. Yeah, you would actually only need these, but just to make it look like a more realistic elevator. Yeah, make it look like a more realistic elevator. So should we use soul sand? Should we not use soul sand is really the question. Yeah, because if we were to, yeah, this is actually really simple, you guys. I'll probably have this done tomorrow, honestly. This other design, though, I don't think it's really worth it, because it's nice to come there and be like, hey, where's the thing at, you know? And then when you hit your button, it comes back into place for you, and you can go in. I mean, that looks cool. It's seamless. Yeah, but it adds a lot more complication to it, so it's something I might think about doing, honestly. But I do think that this is cool, and I think if it is going to be like that, then we could definitely go with the inverted signal here. We could definitely go with an inverted signal. Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's super simple. I think we might even be able to do this differently. I like the fact that it'll be physically hooked up. It should be super reliable. And, yeah. So, the down circuit, like I said, I could, and I say that, you know, lightly, because I could use it in the same way. We could have a down circuit doing the exact same thing. And so what I could do is I could actually have this one, when it's retracted, this one's active. So just for instance, so if this one's off, then I could have this one on. And us having water here, you would come by, land in the water, and then, yeah. It just gets a little complicated, but it's possible because it would always be opposite. I would like to keep this simpler than that, but I do think that I might put something like that in. Anyway, I've been streaming long enough, you guys. We will definitely come back to this. We'll come back to it. We'll check it out. Yeah, we'll check this out. You know, I'll add all the floors to it. I'll hook up all the lines, and then we'll see how it works. Because one of the best things about it for me would be that, you know, you could have multiple people using this, and because it doesn't require something lifting you or flying or anything like that, um, it should be pretty good, honestly. I'm actually curious, something that I just was thinking about. I was like, I wonder, because you could use a potion of feather falling, but what if you have an elytra? I mean, if you do have one, if you do have one, isn't it possible to, I mean, I'm not too sure, but even if you're in a space, yeah, it seemed to me like I actually was falling even faster than I would normally. Yeah, you should actually be able to, yeah, you see that? Like that actually, you are hauling. The opposite is happening there. That's another thing I think. I wonder if you had your elevator, I mean, if you wanted to go down, I mean, couldn't you just, you know, that's probably the biggest problem with this is I'm really surprised that the elytra you can't just use it to glide down by hitting, you know, like, yeah, if I fall from here, it doesn't make you glide, it makes you get hurt. So if you were to fall, you would actually have to, see, like, you'd have to have a really small space. It's possible to do it, though. It's definitely possible to do it. Yeah, if you were to fall, as long as it was a smaller space, you could fall in within that space. But yeah, I think that if you're just starting out, you probably wouldn't want to use the elytra. I'm just gonna leave it in my inventory. Yeah. All right. So I think we have our basic design down. I do think that you could actually make this even smaller. You could definitely go down by one block. If you had 5 high ceilings, you could make this at 5. It would just change the way that you have this hooked up. You probably, if we dropped it by one floor, um, you would have to do this inverted, this thing right here, every floor or every other floor at least. And you'd have to start from the bottom up when you did it, which you would be doing anyway. But so I think too, since this is not going to be used, I actually think it would be cool to just basically hit a reset because it would be possible. Yeah, so I might want to just have a timer. So instead of having the T flip-flop, we might actually just want to have a timer give us a certain amount of time and then shut itself off. Yeah, if we had a timer, it would become more expensive though. This way it's relatively cheap. Yeah, the thing is that you'll never be using this to go down. So yeah, if we have a reset where it resets it no matter what floor, what I'm basically saying is we could basically have this set to where when you hit any button, it resets the floor no matter where it is. So it turns them all off, it turns them all on. Problem with that is we would have to have another button to do that. So I'm thinking we could do we could switch this out, or maybe even have it here. Actually, not. I think that's fine. We could have this button would basically be just a reset, so it would turn everything on or off. So that's where you run into a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't think we want to do that. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Yeah, indicator light would be the next thing. because it's affordable now, I mean, it's going to be super cheap to do this. We could technically try an indicator light system. Kind of like that, where on every floor it shows that what floor is active right now. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work though. Because if you were to hit, say, floor 1, you know, I would have to actually hook floor 1 up from the top down. So, yeah, we want to keep this cheap. No indicator lights. I would say that probably the easiest way would be to keep this thing glass, most of it. Like at least right here where you could see. And you could stand right here and look up and you'd be able to see whether that was, you know, activated or not. So if you looked up and you went, oh, hey, 1, 2, 3, 3 floors up activated. You hit floor 3 to turn it off, and then you go through. But I think as long as yeah, I think this is going to be super easy, you guys. Anyway, I'm going to end this live stream. Not feeling too hot. I've been playing recently, and if I play too long, I start feeling nauseous. So I feel like I have like a motion sickness. Very odd. Anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think of this. If you guys have any ideas, you can always comment in the video or even put it in the chat, I think. But best thing to do would be to put it in the chat. Let me know if you guys would like to see, you know, would you like indicators? Because I was thinking about making a stripped version and then making a super, super overly complicated version of this design. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And you guys have a good day.